guilty of being a dwarf.
Before the awards, before the fame, before the world knew him as Tyrion Lannister, Peter Dinklage was just a kid growing up in New Jersey, constantly being told what he couldn't become. Born on the 11th of June 1969, Peter was diagnosed with achondroplasia, a common form of dwarfism that affects bone growth. From an early age, he realized the world saw him differently. Kids stared, people judged, and Hollywood? It had already created a tiny box for actors who looked like him. But Peter Dinklage refused to live inside that box. As a child, he loved performing. He found freedom on stage, a place where talent mattered more than appearance. While others saw limitations, Peter saw possibility. Inspired by theatre and film, he dreamed of becoming a serious actor. There was just one problem. Almost nobody in Hollywood wanted to give actors with dwarfism meaningful roles. After graduating from Bennington College in the early 1990s, Peter moved to New York City with little money and big dreams. He struggled for years. He worked odd jobs just to survive. At one point, he even lived in a tiny apartment with barely enough space to move around. And during all of this, he kept turning down roles. Because he refused to play stereotypical characters designed only to mock people with dwarfism. He didn't want pity, he didn't want cheap jokes, he wanted respect. That decision made his journey even harder. Years passed with little success. Many actors would have given up, but Peter believed something bigger was waiting for him. Then, in 2003, everything changed. A small independent film called The Station Agent introduced audiences to Peter Dinklage in a completely different way. Instead of being treated like a gimmick, his character was layered, emotional, funny, and deeply human. Hollywood finally started paying attention. But the real turning point came in 2011. That's when HBO released Game of Thrones. Peter Dinklage was cast as Tyrion Lannister, a witty, intelligent outsider constantly underestimated by the people around him. Ironically, the role mirrored many parts of Peter's real life. And from the very first season, he stole the show. Fans around the world connected with Tyrion's humor, pain, and resilience. Peter's performance was so powerful that he became one of the biggest stars on television. He won multiple Emmy Awards, a Golden Globe, global recognition. But what made Peter truly special wasn't just his acting. It was the way he changed the conversation around representation in Hollywood. For decades, actors with dwarfism were often cast in fantasy cliches or comedic roles. Peter challenged that system head-on. He proved audiences were ready for complex characters and that talent should always come before appearance. Even after becoming famous, he continued speaking openly about discrimination and stereotypes in the entertainment industry. And he didn't stop with Game of Thrones. Peter went on to star in films like X-Men, Days of Future Past, Cyrano, and The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Each role showed a different side of his talent. But despite all the success, Peter Dinklage has remained incredibly private and grounded. Unlike many celebrities, he rarely chases the spotlight. He focuses on his craft, his family, and projects he genuinely believes in. That's part of what makes his story so inspiring. Because Peter Dinklage didn't become successful by trying to fit into Hollywood's expectations, he became successful by refusing to. His journey is proof that the people society underestimates the most are often the ones capable of changing everything. From rejection to global fame. From being told he would never make it to becoming one of the most respected actors of his generation, Peter Dinklage didn't just build a career. He changed Hollywood forever. And perhaps the most powerful part of his story is this: he never asked the world to lower the standards for him. He simply demanded the chance to meet them. And he did.